Magandang araw sa ating lahat. Ito po si Nico Fabian once again. Nandito na naman sa programa natin, The Real Talk with Nico. And today is Saturday, August 15 na tayo po. Medyo pasensya lang po, naka-medical aspect tayo ngayon po. Medyo masakit ang mata natin ngayon po, no? But anyway, tuloy lang ang programa natin, The Real Talk with Nico. And mayroon mga topic tayo ngayon dito that I want to share with you po, especially tungkol sa election on scheduled election, presidential election sa 2028 po, no? It will fall every May, every May of sa May ng 2028. Sino kaya ang kandidato ng administrasyon? Sa ngayon po, alam na natin, we already know that the leading presidential candidate ngayon po, based on the surveys, nakita natin po since early this year hanggang ngayon po, nakita natin na since last February, si Vice President si Vice President Inday Sara Duterte officially announced her intention to run for the next president of the Philippines come 2028, year 28, nakita natin mga survey, no? Election surveys that she is really leading sa race na ito po. But whether she can sustain it until the election day po, Judgment Day, that we don't know po. Dahil nakita natin po, marami mga issues ngayon they are putting or si VP Sara is confronting dahil isa po, dyan po sa impeachment file of Inday Sara Duterte, mayroon silang allegations that si Inday Sara Duterte is guilty of great threat against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, ang Junior, ang First Lady Lisa Araneta Marcos, and former House Speaker Martin Romualdez. And then the other article of impeachment against Sara Duterte is yun na po, confidential fund. The third is bribery. And the last is yon article of impeachment, yon unexplained wealth. And beside that po, I think last week narinig natin na ang Department of Justice already filed a grave threat complaint against Inday Sara Duterte. And ang dami pa po, left and right, ang mga allegations sa kanya, and not only sa kanya po, but also sa mga supporters or those leaders aligned with the Dutertes po. So, some people are saying, many people are saying, this mga allegations po, no, against Vice President Inday Sara Duterte is has something to do with the, sabihin natin, upcoming presidential election po. And to destroy and tarnish her name, and ano po, for to make sure that Inday Sara Duterte either she will be disqualified from participating in the presidential race sa 2028 or she will not make it po, no? She will not make it. But if the election will be carried out or will be conducted tomorrow, definitely po, definitely based on this survey, no? Election survey, Inday Sara Duterte will come out victorious. Well, that is a fact already po, whether we like it or not. Whether we like it or not po, kung sakali bukas ang election. But anyway, malakas, everybody knows, will agree with me that ang kandidatura ni VP Sara is a very strong po. She is a very strong candidate to be the next president of the Philippines. If I'm not mistaken, si Bongo is the 17th Philippine president, and Inday Sara, kung may swerte siya po, no? She will be the 18th president of the Philippines come 2028. But ang tanong ngayon po, narinig ko rin po, left and right din po ngayon ng mga notisya dyan sa mainstream media, sa social media, mga television stations natin po, mga programa nila, both sabihin natin komentaryo, no? Sa television na ang dami mga pangalan lumalabas tungkol sino ang possible, probable kalaban ni Inday Sara Duterte sa 2028. Huh? And a lot of people also asking sino kaya yon kandidato ni ng administrasyon or ni President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. come 2028 presidential election. To start with, sa programa natin po, let me share with you first ang interview kay President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos regarding itong issue and other issues po dyan po sa Pilipinas. Dyan po sa Pilipinas. After that, I will show you this video clip po. After that po, we will try to discuss a little bit on the issue. So, nandito po. Let's watch and listen to this video clip.
Who that is, I cannot tell you because even I don't know. So, maaga pa eh. It's a little early for that. And we don't know. We only have, so far, we have only one person who has thrown their hat in the ring.
This was President Bongbong Marcos's response when asked who the administration will pit against his estranged Vice President, Sara Duterte, in the 2028 presidential elections. The chief executive faced the Foreign Correspondents Association of the Philippines, or FOCAP, in Longchon on Friday, an event he had to postpone at the height of the EDSA rallies a month ago. When asked if he would endorse a candidate 2 years from now,
We will certainly provide the best candidate to the betterment of the lives of every Filipino. That we will choose the best possible candidate.
Marcos's eventual choice will likely go head-to-head against Duterte, his former running mate under the Uniteam coalition in 2022. Duterte announced in February that she intends to seek the presidency in 2028. When asked about surveys showing Sara as a leading presidential preference, Marcos said he reads the numbers but does not allow them to dictate his decisions.
How do you feel when you see surveys showing that Vice President Duterte is the leading preference to succeed you? And in relation to that, our country has a history of former presidents being jailed and pursued by their predecessors. Do you fear that at all?
No. I don't really worry about surveys, quite frankly. I don't change my decision because of the survey. I don't change direction because of a survey. I take a decision because this is what I feel is a proper decision to make.
The chief executive later indicated that continuing his administration's anti-corruption efforts would figure prominently in his choice of successor.
The candidate I will endorse will be somebody who I am confident will continue what we have begun in terms of the anti-corruption measures.
President Marcos said his administration has been working to institutionalize safeguards against corruption, including digitalizing government transactions and reducing officials' discretion over processes. He described digitalization as the most powerful tool against corrupt practices long after he leaves Malacanang. As to the ongoing investigation of the flood control scandal, which he himself put out in the open, Marcos says he wants to see clear results before he steps down. But will the respondents include his cousin, former House Speaker Martin Romualdez?
You should be asking that question of the Ombudsman, not me. I am not privy to the investigation that is being conducted by the Ombudsman. I am not privy to any kind of schedule. But the Ombudsman and his officers are very much on this subject, as I'm sure you have gleaned from his statements that he has been making in the past few weeks. So we leave it to the Ombudsman, and now that you've asked me, I'll give him a call and see how is it go. Ask him how is it going, just to give for my own edification.
At the same FOCAP gathering, Mr. Marcos rejected the persistent issue on his family's alleged ill-gotten wealth. The president was asked again about the settlement of estate taxes and penalties.
The reason we won those civil cases is because they were proven to be not ill-gotten wealth. Kaya nga kami nanalo. dahil napatunayan namin na hindi ito ill-gotten wealth.
In this event with foreign correspondents, PBBM likewise discussed international issues, particularly the provisional understanding with China on the rotation and resupply or RORE missions to the BRP Sierra Madre in Ayungin Shoal.
There's no special arrangement that we, somehow the implication is that we have to ask for permission or that we have to give up some of our rights. That's not the case at all. The case is very simple. Our ships our vessels will sail, they will resupply or they will patrol or they will, and any time that they do sail, that NOTAM is issued. That's the extent of it.
Then the president also had something to say about online safety marred by disinformation and fake news.
We launched Oplan Contra Fake News to protect the public from disinformation and hold its purveyors accountable. Through the Presidential Task Force on Media Security, we also continue to strengthen legal assistance, intelligent coordination, and cybercrime response mechanisms to better protect media practitioners. Ladies and gentlemen, the demands of our time will continue to test our resolve. The government and the media may not always agree, nor should they. But our shared interest remains the same, the pursuit of truth.
For News 5, Maricel Halili, We Are One News.
Okay, yun po. Excuse me. Okay, yun po. Narinig natin na si President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos kahapon ito po ang function niya po dyan sa Pilipinas. So, okay, let's go to election po, no? Briefly, we will touch on this issue. Let's go on the election po. Sa ngayon, who will be the candidate of the administration? Or ang kandidato ni BBM Bongbong Marcos Jr. against ang very strong candidate si Inday Sara Duterte po. Isa po, mentioned already, yon si former vice president natin sa Pilipinas, and now the Naga mayor, si Leni Robredo po, no? Leni Robredo. And Inday Sara, Leni Robredo, and the third one po, yun nakita natin sa mga survey po, is no other than si Senator Raffy Tulfo. So let's talk about si former Vice President Leni Robredo, and who is now the Naga City Mayor po. Now, in the history of the Philippines po, hindi pa nangyari yon po. Ang kandidato who ran before as a candidate for the top position of Presidente po and lost in the election po, was not able to, when that person run again for the same post po, they never won po sa history ng Pilipinas po, no? Sa history ng Pilipinas. And, but anyway, anything can happen kasi nagbago ang mga isip ng mga tao. But based on the record, history natin po, hindi talaga nanalo ang defeated the presidential candidate and he or she tried to participate again in the presidential election po, hindi nanalo po. And that is facts na yan po. And Leni Robredo already repeatedly mentioned that she is not interested for any national position po. Na gusto niya po to stick with the mayor come 2028. Anyway, as what I said, anything can happen po. Anything can happen. And looking at the situation, after all this bashing or after all this criticism against the Marcoses before, na si former Vice President Leni Robredo against the Marcoses po, now slowly nakita natin po ang mga statement niya po supporting na po kay mga Marcoses po. Is it signaling that she will follow the desire of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos to be the candidate of the administration or not? We don't know po, no? So yun po, yun ang sitwasyon ni Leni Robredo. When we talk about potential din po candidate, although already repeatedly said that he is not interested to run as or sa top post po as president sa 2028 election. Ayan, I'm referring to Senator Raffy Tulfo, no? Now, si Senator Raffy Tulfo po, if you look at the situation na po, if only he will run or re-elect, re-election niya po to the position of Senator, 100% po, for me, this is how I look at it. Wala siyang problema to be inside sa Magic 12 po. Na? Maybe he will not be the top one, but definitely he will be inside the Magic 12. In other words po, he will win. He will win po. But, kung sakali si Raffy Tulfo will run to be the next president of the Philippines po, no? And based on the survey ngayon po, he's number 3 lang po. He's only number 3. Now, if he loses in the election, vying for the post of a president po, sayang ang posisyon niya po as senator. Sayang na sayang talaga po. Because sa ngayon, if you look at it, sure winner na yon si Raffy Tulfo po sa Senado. Sa Senado. Maybe number 4, number 5, or even number 8, 9, or 10, or whatever number, for as long as pasok siya sa Magic 12. Magic 12 po. So, yun po ang sitwasyon. The other candidates or names mentioned, kagaya nila Risa Hontiveros, Senator Risa Hontiveros po, wala talaga yan po. Wala talaga. I don't think so po. My chances, John Vic, o kung sino man po. But, ngayon, narinig natin for just recently, mayroon naman po mga speculations, haka-haka, istorya po, na mayroon pala, baka mayroon na-identify na si BBM ang kandidato niya po. But these are all speculation. Hindi itong confirm. Sino yan po? According to sa social media, narinig natin ang mga kwento-kwento dyan po sa media sa Pilipinas, na there is a possibility that the administration is building up to be the presidential candidate, no? To represent the administration sa 2028 election po is si Ombudsman Crispin Remulla po. Yun po ang haka-haka ngayon po, no? Some people say hindi yun totoo. Some people say totoo yun po, no? Or there is a great possibility. Because you look at the situation now po, almost every day na ngayon po, si Remulla, this is the only ombudsman po who comes in very often sa mga interviews, media interviews po. Exposure yun po, no? Every now and then, you can see him talking po. So, maybe he's trying to get enough exposure po para pagdating ang araw na they will announce that he will be the candidate of the administration for the 2028 presidential election. Posible din yun po, no? Posible. And some people were saying it is also possible because maybe they are playing ang laro ngayon po, no? File cases against itong mga tao po, no? Itong mga tao na a lot of Filipinos wants to see them behind bars po, no? Kagaya ni Romualdez, Saldico, and other congressmen and senators po, no? So, he will try to do this thing po. So, pagdating sa araw na yun po, he can say na, tingnan nyo, ako yun po, ang presidente, Bongbong Marcos can also brag na ito ang kandidato natin, si Remulla, because look at his achievements. Look at his achievements. While others, on the contrary, are saying, tao yun ni BBM. Tao yun ni BBM, and we cannot trust him. The way we look, how he's running the show po, lahat na lang pabor sa administrasyon or pabor kay BBM po. So mayroon mga negative and positive criticism or reaction coming from various sectors dyan po sa Pilipinas po tungkol ito si Remulla. But posible, there is a possibility. Baka they are cooking, preparing Remulla to be the administration's bet sa 2028 presidential election po. Alright. The other thing, kung sakali, ito mga haka-haka din po, kung sakali si VP Sara will be convicted, no? Found guilty sa impeachment trial, ongoing impeachment trial ngayon po. In other words, she will be removed from the post as the vice president, and at the same time, perpetually she will be disqualified from holding any government elected positions. Now, sino who will replace? Who will replace naman kay Inday Sara Duterte? May mga haka-haka po na baka ang kapatid niya po, ang mayor ng Davao, si Sebastian Baste Duterte. But is he that strong? Some are saying mas mabuti pa si Polong. Some are saying si Ruben Padilla. Some are saying si Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Others are saying other names po aligned sa kampo ng mga Duterte po. No? And narinig din natin po, sabi nila, kung sakali wala si Inday Sara Duterte, no? Inday Sara Duterte po, mabuti pa, let us support or let us put si Bam Aquino as the next president of the Philippines dahil wala siyang issue tungkol sa corruption po, no? Tungkol sa corruption. So, let's see. Lahat lang ito mga speculations. Hindi pa itong final, hindi pa ito confirm po. But whether we like it or not po, narinig na natin po itong mga storya, mga balita-balita tungkol sa forthcoming presidential election. Now, last day, I just want to share with you po ang observation namin dito sa Sabah, ang mga Filipinos dito sa Sabah po, tungkol ang latest survey carried out dyan sa Pilipinas, wherein they are showing na tandem po, tandem, si Leni Robredo and Raffy Tulfo. Leni will be the president and Raffy Tulfo will be the vice president. And on the other hand po, si Inday Sara Duterte will be the president, tandem with Senator Amy Marcos. Now, ito ang comment natin, and this is also my personal observation po. The Filipinos are not stupid. Filipinos are not stupid. We don't believe such kind of dirty games pagdating naman sa survey itong apat na leaders natin po. For one, si Leni already repeatedly said that she is not interested for the top post, although anything can happen. Same thing po, si Raffy Tulfo also mentioned na hindi talaga po, he will not go for the top position po. So dalawa yun sila po, ayaw. No? And on the other side naman po, no? Si Inday Sara lang po na-confirm na she is seriously running for the top post sa election po 2028. But si Amy Marcos naman po never mentioned about being the vice president or any intention to be a candidate sa second post po. From the very beginning, we heard Amy Marcos was saying na kontento na siya po dito sa pagka-senador, no? And meron pa siyang another 3 years, no? So, putting out this kind of survey result po is klaro-klaro, for me, it is bias po. Bias talaga po. In other words, somebody is paying itong survey firm to do this kind of result and confuse ang mga voters po. I don't think ang mga Filipinos is buying this kind of tactic that some politicians are doing ngayon po. But anyway, sige lang po. Let's continue to monitor ang situation dyan po sa Pilipinas, especially itong mga leaders natin po. If we think that they are corrupt po, they didn't do their job properly po, and that they don't deserve respect from the voters po, let us mark them po and make sure that we are not going to put them back to the position sa 2028. Sigaw natin po, continue to fight and say, shout to the administration that we want corruptions will be properly addressed, and those who are involved in the corruption activities, be it sa flood control projects or any other corruption dealings dyan po sa Pilipinas, they must be put behind bars. Alright? So yun po, this is the thing that I want to share with you sa Saturday na ito po. And I hope, maski paano, I managed to share with you or enlighten you, update you of what is really happening ngayon po sa Pilipinas. In the meantime, hanggang dito na lang muna tayo po. Once again, si Nico Fabian would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today, Saturday, August 15. Salamat. Don't play. Bye.